everybody, Kathy at Northstar Prepsteader. I'm in my garden and it's been a while since we've had a garden tour and things are just growing like crazy. Some things are ready to harvest. Let me take you a walk through the garden and see. At this point in the summer with the harvest, it's kind of a surprise of where things are at after this amount of time. And I hope you enjoy this. The lettuce is growing like crazy. I need to cut this back and put some in the fridge. This is the Rocky Top lettuce that was recommended by Sarah and Kevin at Living Traditions. They love it and it is growing very well and very lush. These are the tennis ball lettuce and they're supposed to grow like little tennis ball heads, but the leaves look very, very good. So we'll see how things grow from here. The cilantro is pretty much done. It had bolted like crazy right away. It took so long for it to really establish with our cool spring, and then we went right into really hot and it didn't really like that, so it bolted right away. The marigolds are going crazy. They're the ones loving this weather. Now on the other side of the marigolds here, I have planted some more calendula and it's kind of hidden under here, so I'm probably gonna have to trim these marigolds back, maybe pull a few or something, and because I would really like to get some more calendula and let those grow. Otherwise this bed looks pretty decent. Now this one does spend a good part of the afternoon in the shade, which the lettuce really likes. It helps to keep it a little bit cooler when we have such hot days. The basil, this basil is doing great. I have already gotten like 2 cuttings out of here, and when I cut off a section, another one just pops up and keeps growing. So I'm gonna have to harvest some more and dry some more. Now the spinach is done for. I have one that is trying to do something, but I think it's just gonna bolt. So I need to pull those today. It's just been too hot. The spinach likes the cool weather. Over here, my onions, the leaves are just huge. They're doing great. The bulbs don't look all that big. Now I planted them according to what everybody said, that you have to plant them on the surface, and that's how you get the big bulbs. Well, in my soil and my climate, that has never really worked, so I was giving it a try again this year. We'll see how they go. Some of them are looking really, really small. I have to get in here and weed. There's plenty of weeds in here and grass growing up, so I've got to take care of this. But otherwise, overall, the plants are really healthy. The bulbs are growing, but they're not going to be big ones at all. So I'm going to have to reevaluate that for next year. These are the red Kyoto Carrots. Now the leaves are really getting nice and big. I don't see that the carrots themselves are very big yet. This one, it almost looks to me like it bolted, so I'm gonna have to look at that. I've never had carrot leaves bolt. So here's some more carrots over here. Overall, they're looking really, really good. The marigolds again are just fantastic. I've already cut these back so much and pulled several of them, but I'm going to need to pull some more to give the bell peppers some room. So I've got some peppers growing on these. I'm going to really need to fertilize them and give them some space now so that they can grow like crazy. I had the marigolds in here to try to help keep the pests away, but these are supposed to be petite marigolds, which are going to be small plants, which I thought would be okay, but they have just flourished and gone like crazy. Here is my bean bed. I mean, you gotta look at all the beans that grew this last week. So I've got a lot of picking to do. Along the side here, I've got a couple tomatoes growing on this one. It's a cayenne, so I've got lots of peppers growing on here. Just need to let them turn red. So these alongside the fence aren't doing all that well in the pots, in the containers. So I don't know that I will do container tomatoes ever again. I'm not sure. We'll see how they produce by the end of the summer. Here I have some more calendula growing. So overall, now I know it's afternoon, the sun isn't that great, but I have to get in here and pick beans and weed. Now a lot of these pots I had to move to the middle while I was gone, and so that I could make sure that they got water. And they're just not looking so great. These are banana peppers and they're looking very sickly. They've got some blossoms on and a couple of peppers, but I just need to get in here and fertilize. They're plenty damp in there, so they have enough water. Something is eating up my lemon balm, so I'm gonna have to investigate in here and see what's going on. This lemon balm looks about the same. These bunching onions are looking really good. I have to thin them a little bit more again, but they're looking pretty good. One of my butternut squash plants, which is just looking really, really peaked. I'm gonna have to fertilize and try to figure some things out. But I have blossoms way down here. It's just not vining out. So I'm not sure what the deal is. If anybody knows why in containers are not doing as well, I don't know if it had to take its time building up a root system in the container before it could really branch out or what. So if you have any ideas, please let me know. Leave them in the comments below. Here's my other butternut squash. Again, I have some blossoms, but they're getting eaten. I haven't seen any evidence of squash bugs or anything, but who knows what's getting there. It might be a moth. Here's my zucchini, which is blossoming, but again, it's just not vining out. So I don't know why it's doing that in the containers. So I'm gonna have to, now that I'm gonna be home for a good spell, I'm gonna fertilize and really try to take care of these things. Strawberries are done, so I think that they were in a June bearing plant. They actually bore for a good month, which was really pretty awesome. Now everbearing will continue to bear until frost. Peppermint is coming back very well after harvesting a bunch. Parsley's looking great. I'm going to need to harvest that again. The chard is looking great. It's getting ready. I can start harvesting this because the stems are getting nice and big here. The oregano is coming back after harvesting that really well. And again, a few more onions. These bunching onions are doing very well. Well, first of all, look at these calendula here. This is one plant, and I've harvested a number of blossoms off of here. Now, while I was gone, I lost a couple blossoms, but there's a lot here I can pick now and start drying. So this one's doing really well. This other one is producing very nicely. Now my main tomato bed, these plants are looking great. Some of these I have a lot of tomatoes on and they're looking really fabulous. There's a lot of tomatoes in here. I have a good cluster going down here. Look at these tomatoes in here. So there's beautiful. I have delicious tomatoes and porterhouse. The plants are already above the stake here. My borage all the way through here. People are wondering why I grew borage, and from what I've been told, they're supposed to keep the tomato hornworms away. And so far, I see no evidence of the hornworms affecting it. Now the bees love the borage. So you can see this bumblebee just kind of flitting around here. They love all the flowers in the borage here. So I've got so many blossoms here that are ready to go and just burst forth. It's kind of beautiful here. So there's a couple more plants I have to move back to the side here. Lots of blossoms. And I got this cluster of tomatoes. Look at, what does Jess call them? Cat-faced? I mean, look at the distortion here. They're just, it's weird. Now this one's not looking too bad, but it's going to be hard for me to figure out which tomatoes they were, because even though I wrote with permanent marker on the sticks, it has faded and washed off. So I have to see what I can do here. But lots of new blossoms here. And again, look at all the tomatoes growing above the stakes here. So I'll have to continue supporting them here and figuring out what to do. They grew quite a bit. They grew probably 6 or 8 inches while I was gone this last week, which is a pretty decent amount. Anyway, that is my garden at this point. It's time for me to go pick some beans. And you guys take care, God bless, and always have hope. Bye-bye.